Hi, scientists. Okay, so yesterday we talked about animals and their offspring, so their babies. Today we're going to talk about something similar to that. We're going to talk about inherited traits, and we're going to learn a little bit more about what that means. But today we're talking about inherited traits. So let's look at our question for today. Our question is, what are inherited traits? So think about if you've ever heard anything like this before. You might not have, but hopefully by the end of this lesson, you will be able to answer this question. What are inherited traits? So our learning target is that we can explain that plants and animals can be similar to, but not exactly like their parents. And we're going to talk about that today. All right, inherited traits. Misty, the yellow lab, is about to have puppies. Which one, so this picture at the top is Misty. Which one of these two puppies do we think might be a puppy that Misty would have? Look at these two puppies. Okay, I think it's going to be this one right here. How do I know that? Why do I think that this is going to be a puppy that this dog would have? Well, it looks kind of similar to that dog. This one looks completely different. So it doesn't look like a puppy that would come from this dog. Let's look at something else. When living things reproduce, they recreate offspring that eventually grow up and look like their parents. As they grow, they usually develop similar colorings, similar coverings, and similar body features. These features are called traits. So we've already learned what one part of that means, traits. Traits are parts of your body. So what color your skin is, what color your eyes are, what color your hair is, the shape of your face. Traits are what you look like, things on your body. Let's think about some traits of this young female hummingbird. So look at what this hummingbird looks like. What kind of body part does she use to eat food? Does she use her legs or a tail? Is she covered in scales, fur, feathers? What color is she? What else do you notice about her? So what are her traits? I see her coloring. She's kind of green and blue. She's small. She's got wings and feathers and a little beak. Those are some of her traits. The young hummingbird has traits that are similar to her parents. So look, this is the baby and here's the parent. Do you see the features or the traits that make her look like her parents? So when you get your traits, parts on your body or things that you look like from your parents, that's called inherited. So inherited traits are features that a living thing has that it got from its parents. All living things inherit traits from their parents. This is why the offspring of plants and animals eventually look like their parents. Which one of these cubs do you think belongs to the adult lion? Is it this one or this one? How do you know? You can tell that it's not this one because it has stripes. Even though the first one doesn't look exactly like the parent, you can tell that it will probably grow up to look like the parent, okay? While the lion cub does not look exactly like his father, he will eventually grow and develop the same features. His body will grow bigger, he will grow more hair and mane, and he will develop the hairy tuft at the end of his tail so that he will look like the dad. All living things inherit traits from their parents, which affect how they look and behave. You may inherit your dad's brown eyes or your mom's curly hair. You may inherit your parents' skin color, or even the shape of your nose comes from your parents. Inherited traits are not exactly like their parents, they're similar. The baby giraffe inherited many traits from the parents. So he got the long legs, the long neck, the body shape, and the pattern on his skin, but he doesn't look exactly like his parents. That's because inherited traits are similar, but they're not exact copies. Like animals, plants also inherit traits. Like animals, the inherited traits of plants are only similar, not exactly the same. This happens because there are slight differences in each living thing when it is reproduced. So, when an adult has a baby, there are slight differences in the baby. These carrots were all grown from the same seed. Look at these carrots. They all have similar shapes. You can tell that they're all carrots, but they don't look exactly alike. Many characteristics of plants and animals are inherited from their parents. The way they look, their body coverings, and body parts are just some of the traits that are inherited. Your inherited traits are what makes you who you are. So now that we've learned all of this, I'll ask the question again. What are inherited traits? Hopefully, you could be able to explain what inherited traits are, because that's what you're going to do next. So I'm going to post this picture on the next slide. This is a penguin. The one right here is the parent penguin, and this one is the baby penguin. Some things are very similar and some things are different. I want you to tell me 3 things that are similar and 3 things that are different on Flipgrid. So I'm going to post this picture on the next slide with your link on Flipgrid, and I want you to explain to me how these two are different and how they are similar. All right, scientists, see you next time. Bye.